Millions of Americans will be staring up at the sky on August 21st when a rare total solar eclipse will be visible in certain parts of the country. Now, you do need special glasses to protect your eyes, but NASA says there are a lot of fakes on the market and they could damage your eyes. To make sure your glasses are safe, look for the certified ISO icon and the number 12312-2 to make sure they properly block the light.
Hey, very good Friday morning, everyone, and thank you so much for waking up with the Valley today. Kyle Bosch here with Lisa Bedeau as we get started with nonstop news and weather all the way up to the top of the hour. And we do start with some breaking news overnight. Australia's Prime Minister said this morning that his country would come to the aid of the United States if North Korea attacks Guam. Malcolm Turnbull says that he discussed the threat with U.S. Vice President Mike Pence overnight.
The leader of Australia's Green Party, however, is criticizing Turnbull's stance and is urging him to ditch the U.S.-Australia alliance. U.S. and South Korean military officials plan to move ahead with a large-scale exercise later this month. North Korea, which is now finalizing plans to launch a simultaneous discharge of missiles toward the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam, says those exercises are a rehearsal for war. After a home security camera caught a suspicious-looking man at the front door of a home in South Fargo early yesterday morning, the homeowner wants people in the Lewis and Clark neighborhood to be on the lookout. A post on Nextdoor warned neighbors that the man was caught approaching her house. He can then be seen running to a home next door.
Now, the video was taken near 15th Street and 14th Avenue South, but the man was actually seen throughout the Lewis and Clark neighborhood. Fargo police are now encouraging others to set up their own home security cameras because they say the videos can be a huge tool for investigators. Now, if you do catch any suspicious activity on your security camera, you should contact police and send them that video.
Developing this morning, a father and daughter are dead after drowning in rough seas in Lake Superior in Duluth. Fire officials were called to the Park Point area around 4:30 yesterday afternoon after a girl reported that her 38-year-old father and 10-year-old sister had disappeared while swimming.
Now, crews eventually were able to find their bodies, but even the recovery effort was a dangerous situation. Two rescuers were thrown out of their boat by the strong waves. The fire department in Duluth had issued a red flag warning earlier in the day yesterday because of a high risk for riptides.
Now 9 minutes before 7 o'clock, and we get a check of our storm team forecast on this Friday morning with Lisa Green.
Good morning. Mostly sunny, beautiful out there. Where we can see the sun, there is some fog obscuring our visibility a little bit, but that should be going away this morning. You can see some gorgeous temperatures ahead of us today with some upper 70s to near 80 degrees in Fargo. Very pleasant and a sunny day with a few more clouds developing this afternoon. Wind out of the north or just non-existent at all. We're looking at some very calm air out there this morning. It's 50 degrees in Fargo, 51 in Grand Forks. Still some places hanging around in those 40s, so a little cool. 46 in Bemidji, 49 in Badette, and 48 in Langdon. So grab that jacket if you don't like those numbers. Looking at our visibility in Wadena still at 0. So that's going to be sticking around for a little bit at least here this morning and into Otter Tail County south from there. And all these gray patches here you see on the map, that's where we've got some reports of some dense fog in central parts of Minnesota. So if you need to drive in this direction today, watch out for that this morning. Up toward Badette, we're also down to a half-mile visibility there and a mile and a quarter over in Langdon as well. So some patchy areas where we have some dense fog in and around the metro. We've been seeing a little bit of that light fog as well. Jamestown over down to Ellendale, a few clouds a little higher up in the atmosphere moving through, but mainly today will be on the sunny side. Ahead for this weekend, expect some pretty decent weather. We'll have more clouds in the southern valley than the northern valley. There's a system passing by to the south, and it may be just far enough north where it brings us a chance for some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms Saturday, high of 78 degrees. And then for Sunday, some early morning areas of rain as well. We'll end up with a high of 82 degrees for Sunday. So not a perfect weekend, but we'll get some sunshine in there as well, even in those places that pick up a little rain. Let's check in now with Al.
Well, it took us a little while this morning, but we are most definitely a community on the move. Traffic out here on Interstate 94 and Interstate 29 has most definitely picked up. Westbound I-94 is out and out busy this morning. Pretty much the same picture on northbound I-29. The other two directions they're pretty active as well. And I'll tell you something else. Travel speeds have definitely picked up this morning as well. We're seeing some strong 65 to 70 mile an hour traffic out here on the interstate. Road surface is dry. Not hearing of any crashes or anything like that. Not seeing any stalled cars this morning. So overall, things are looking pretty darn good. Make sure you're driving carefully today. Extra caution in those construction zones. Willamette Valley today traffic.
6 minutes ahead of 7 a.m. now, developing for you this morning. Canada now says that one of its diplomats suffered hearing loss while in Cuba. It follows word that several U.S. embassy officials experienced severe hearing problems while posted in Havana.
A source tells CBS News that investigators suspect an acoustic weapon may have been involved. The Cuban government denies any wrongdoing and says it's looking into the matter. Also developing, the Fargo police officer who was fired earlier this week wants his job back. And Fargo's assistant city attorney says the Civil Service Commission will have a hearing within the next 30 days to hear the appeal.
David Belke lost his job after an internal investigation concluded that he had not filed reports, lacked empathy toward the public, and was allegedly disrespectful towards members of the police department, among other things. Belke, however, says the fact that he is willing to go through this very public process shows his true character. He is a 15-year veteran of the Fargo Police Department.
It's Friday, and that means time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Christopher Powell is wanted for felony probation violation, aggravated assault, and terrorizing. Take a look at his picture. It's on your TV right now. And call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him. In our consumer reports this morning, it's back-to-school shopping time, and that often includes picking out new electronics for your students.
But before you head to the store or do some online shopping, Consumer Reports has some important advice. A recent reliability survey for laptops and tablets found several reports that Microsoft devices froze or shut down or had problems starting up. Based on the survey data, Consumer Reports predicts that 25% of Microsoft tablets and laptops will present problems within 2 years of ownership.
Microsoft says its real-world return and support rates for past models differ significantly from Consumer Reports' breakage predictability. Apple laptops and tablets came out on top in Consumer Reports reliability surveys.
40 families staying at the Ronald McDonald House in Fargo are in line for a special meal delivery today. Check this out. Graduates from United Way's 35 Under 30 Women's Leadership Program gathered yesterday to throw together some burritos.
They say they made as much food as they could with the money they got from donations. The women say this is a simple way of giving back to the community. You may want to look up when you're in downtown Fargo today. Dozens of people will be rappelling down the Black Building to help raise money for Charism.
Sharing the details of the Over the Edge event is the Valley Today's Christy Larson, who joins us live from downtown Fargo. And Christy, people also have to be aware of a road closure that's actually already underway down there?
Yep, so they already have Broadway blocked off between 1st Avenue North and 2nd Avenue North. That's exactly where that Black Building location is. They also have a couple of the entrances to the building closed off. They have one that is open. And James is up here with us this morning. You're going to be rappelling down later today. I'm rappelling down later today, but it's all about Charism. That's what people are coming out here for.
Absolutely, and we will love for as many people to come out and to be a part of this event. Just the excitement level here is off the roof. Hey. So yeah, we're really excited about this.
And so let's just again kind of remind people, you guys help those kids in the community with doing a lot of different programs. So we just heard from John doing the summer camps. You do after school items.
Yes, all these programs and more, and that's why we're really excited about this fundraiser, because we want to be able to expand. We want to be able to do more, reach a lot more youth, a lot more families. So yeah, the more support we can get in, the more we're able to do.
Yeah, and it is kind of a crazy thing. You said that this is the first time it's ever happened in North Dakota. People can take part in it by watching down on the streets below, but how can they also take part in it? Maybe donating online.
Yes, donating online, and also we have a very awesome volunteer program where people can get involved that way, whether with the kids or with our grocery assistance programs. Yeah, and they can also come down here and give in person if they want, so lots of different ways.
Yeah, and again, the first people that today who are going to be going off of the building are going to be happening around 9 a.m., happening all the way until about 6 p.m., and so that road will stay blocked off. And guys, I have to say, I've gotten very close with everyone from Charism because each time we're up near the ledge, I'm like, okay, you just hold on to me until I'm ready to be harnessed up.
I think it's been interesting that most of the time you've been standing on the non-ledge side during your interviews this morning, Christy.
I have vacation tomorrow, so I need to stay safe.
Yeah, there's no ulterior
I would
motive.
also be on the non-ledge side. I'm not going to make any bones about that.
Christy Larson reporting live for us. Thank you. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 90% of people who try to do this fail.
The answer, be a vegetarian. You can take part in our question of the morning by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page, where we, of course, invite you to join the conversation throughout the day. And it sounds like we're in line for a pretty good weather Friday, maybe not as warm as some people would like.
Yeah, you know, some people want us to get well into the 80s, you know, that's good lake weather. However, we'll get very close if we don't get to 80 degrees today. We'll still be in the upper 70s, and it's going to be beautiful. Sunshine, light wind, just a great Friday ahead. And we're starting off a little cool this morning. Watch out for that fog as well. Some places there's some dense fog, especially in Lakes Country.
Maybe not a perfect lakes forecast, but it's a perfect golfing forecast,
That
which
is a
is
good forecast.
good news for me.
Light wind, yeah.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. We've got